Today, we're going to crack open Nvidia's latest quarterly report. We're not just looking at the headlines, oh no. We're going straight into the engine room to figure out what is really driving this AI giant. All right, let's get right into it. First up, just look at this number, $46.7 billion. That's not their yearly revenue. That's what Nvidia pulled in a single quarter. I mean, it's a figure that's almost hard to wrap your head around. So how in the world does a company even get to a number like that? Well, this kind of puts it in perspective. This wasn't just some lucky fluke. That's a 56% jump from the exact same time last year. You know, this isn't just growth. This is something else entirely. It's pure explosive acceleration. So let's start right there, unpacking that staggering surge. We're going to move past the initial wow of these massive numbers and really see what they're made of. It's the big question, isn't it? A number that huge has to have an unbelievably powerful engine behind it. So let's start peeling back the layers and see which parts of this company are doing all the heavy lifting. So, welcome to what I like to call Nvidia's AI engine room. This is where it all happens. We're going to break down the company into its core pieces to really pinpoint where all this incredible performance is coming from. And wow, this chart right here tells you pretty much the whole story. You know, we all know Nvidia for its graphics cards for gaming, right? But look at the reality of their business today. A whopping 88% of their revenue is from compute and networking. That's the AI data center business, and it is just absolutely dominating everything. And if you think their revenue story is wild, this profit breakdown is even more telling. It's not just about the money coming in, it's about the actual profit. That compute and networking segment, it generated over $28 billion in operating income. That is more than 12 times the profit of their entire graphics division. So let's be clear, when we talk about Nvidia's insane success, we are really truly talking about their data center and AI business. But it's not all smooth sailing, not by a long shot. Even with this unbelievable momentum, Nvidia is trying to navigate some really treacherous waters, especially when it comes to geopolitics and one of its biggest markets, China. And here's the heart of the issue. Back in April, the US government basically dropped a bombshell. They started requiring a special license for Nvidia to sell its H20 AI chip into China, and this was a chip designed specifically for that market. This one move had huge immediate consequences. And here's the price tag of that decision. $4.5 billion. That is the charge Nvidia had to take last quarter because demand for that H20 chip just fell off a cliff. They were suddenly stuck with a mountain of inventory for a product they couldn't even sell freely anymore. Ouch. And this is where the story gets even stranger. This quote is pulled directly from their official SEC filing. It shows this extraordinary situation where, even if Nvidia gets a license to sell those chips, US government officials have basically said they expect a 15% cut of the revenue. It's just a wild example of the geopolitical tightrope that Nvidia is forced to walk right now. So yeah, the whole China situation is a massive headache, but it is not the only challenge. The company's own report lays out a whole bunch of other risks that they see on the horizon. It paints a picture of a company that's firing on all cylinders, but also trying to dodge some serious landmines. And they highlight a few key things. First, just the constant uncertainty around future US export rules. Then there's the growing threat from competitors, especially as open source AI gets more and more popular. They're also facing huge supply chain challenges with new products like Blackwell Ultra. And finally, and this is a big one, there are very real physical limits. Will there be enough data center space, enough energy, and enough money for customers to keep building at this pace? So what's the big takeaway when you put this all together? Well, it's really a story of tension. It's a balancing act. On one side, you've got this phenomenal, truly historic growth. And on the other, you've got this set of very real, very significant global challenges that could throw a wrench in the whole thing. Which, of course, leaves us with this final question. We've seen inside that AI engine, and it is running at an absolutely incredible speed. It's a monster. But those storm clouds of geopolitical tension and fierce competition, they're getting bigger and they're getting closer. Can this engine keep running fast enough to outpace it all? Well, that is the multi-trillion-dollar question.